Hi and welcome back to my channel. No matter what age we are, there's always a natural urge to know if our life is on track, and at some point in your life you may wonder, how much money should I have at this age? Or how much should I be saving at this stage of my life? Or you may even be wondering if you have accumulated enough wealth for your retirement. One thing you don't want to do is to get to retirement and realize you don't have enough. We live in a world of social comparison, but quite often these topics are never discussed openly. Those that do share their life all over social media may make you feel like you need to have a Lambo by the age of 30 and be sipping on Veuve Clicquot round a swimming pool every day in the sun. Generally, the only people who do talk about their financial situation are those doing well, lying to make them seem rich, or are not in the best of places financially. So what if you're neither of these? Even with all the posts on social media, as a society, we don't ever ask others how much money people have to gauge whether we are on track due to the social stigma surrounding it. But what even is on track? Everyone, everywhere will have different jobs, and different jobs may pay differently in different places. And the cost of living is different depending on where you live. And your spending habits and lifestyle may be very different from someone else. So in this video, I'm going to discuss how much money you should have at different ages. If you're new here, then my name's Ollie, and on this channel, I talk about personal finance, investing, and how to reach financial freedom. So if that sounds like something you'd enjoy, then please subscribe and press the bell icon to be notified of the latest videos as I upload new content every week. Also, if you enjoyed this video, then I'd really appreciate an early thumbs up, as it really helps with the YouTube algorithm so that my content can reach more people. So to work out if you're on track, you're firstly going to need to work out your net worth. So to do this, you basically need to add up all your assets. So this is basically all of your savings and any retirement accounts, your investment in stocks or crypto, your home equity, any valuables and jewelry, gold, silver, your car maybe, and any cash if you keep it under the bed because you don't trust the banks. Next, you need to add up all your liabilities, which is basically anything where you owe money. For example, this is all your student loans, mortgages, car loans, or any other loan, and any credit card debts you've got. So basically, once you've got these two figures, you take your assets and then you subtract your liabilities from this, and then the total of this is your net worth. Now, this figure can be both positive and negative, and don't worry, if you're young and it's negative, it's because a lot of young people will have debt from student loans or making big purchases such as cars or houses, so don't worry if it's negative. So if we take a look here at this site Nimblefins, which was based on the data from the Office for National Statistics and Wealth, you may think your first point of call will be wanting to know what the average savings is by each age. But unfortunately, maths can be a bit skewed sometimes. So what do I mean by this? If you have one person whose net worth is £1 million, and then you have another person whose net worth is zero, then the average net worth of these two people is 500 grand. So saying the average net wealth of a 16 to 24 year old is £7,600 seems personally way out to me. Things may have changed since I was that age, but I definitely didn't have anywhere near that between those ages. Plus, 16 to 24 is a bit broad. You could still be in education till age 21 or even beyond this, whereas others may have started work at 16. So either way, the distribution of income is unequal due to some households having a very high income. So the median is actually a more meaningful average measure, as it is not influenced by extreme values. Now, most videos on YouTube seem to base this topic on a Fidelity study, but a lot of them seem to overlook that there is a difference based on whether you're in the UK and quite often just use the US one. So I'm going to give both figures on this video. There are studies on their website for other countries also, so I'll put a link to that down below in the description in case you live in one of these other countries and if you wanted to check that out after this video. So global values vary for a number of reasons, including observed savings or spending behavior, taxation, structure of the state or government pension, and health insurance schemes, mortality, assumed retirement age, wage growth, inflation, and capital market assumptions. Also, it's worth noting this video is correct at the time of recording, and things may change in the future as rates change, hence why other videos may say slightly different values. And to confuse this even more, different sites and different studies recommend different values. So for the first part of my video, I'm going to use Fidelity's analysis in the hope that they kept some kind of consistency. Now, Fidelity's US study is based on the assumption that a person saves 15% of their income annually beginning at age 25, which includes any employer match, and they invest more than 50% on average of their savings in stocks over their lifetime, and retires at age 67 and plans to maintain their pre-retirement lifestyle in retirement. The UK study is based on average household incomes in the UK, with typically 2 working adults and 2 state pensions, and is based on retiring at 68. So at age 20, you should generally have a net worth of 0. Generally, this is because you've been in school and possibly university, and at this stage of your life, you're not really earning that much money and you're probably having fun, which you should be doing. And often people are working out what they want to do in life and investing in themselves or traveling. If there was one bit of advice I wish I had when I was 20, then it would be to start investing, as it puts you in a much better place for retirement by saving even a small amount each month. Because as mentioned in my last video, using the average return of an S&P 500 index fund at say 8%, starting at age 20, you could potentially be a millionaire by the age of 65 just by saving $200 a month. If you wait till 30, you then need to start saving $436 each month to become a millionaire by the age of 65. So this is why the sooner you begin, the better. If you want to know more about this, then I recommend you go check out my video up here and in the description below. So now by age 30, you should have 1 year of your annual salary saved and invested. This applies to both the UK and the US. So if you earn 25k per year, then by age 30, you should have 25k saved and invested. Or say you earned 40k per year, then you should have 40k saved and invested. By this point in your life, you should have been in a full-time job for a while now. And now your money should hopefully be in the form of investments or in savings accounts. But if you're following the study, then it should really be in investments, or even in property you have started paying off. It depends what route you decide to go down. If you're in your 30s and you think you're hitting the ceiling of your job, then you should do something about it as soon as possible, because after 35, it becomes a lot harder to leave your job. Now by age 40 in the UK, you should have 2 times your salary. So say your salary increased to 50k, then by age 40 you should now have £100,000. In the USA, you should have a net worth of 3 times your annual salary. So say your salary increased to 50k, then by age 40 you should have $150,000. Now by age 50 in the UK, you should have 4 times your salary. So say you're now on 60k per year, then you should have £240,000 saved up. In the USA, you should have 6 times your annual salary. By this point, if you started investing early on in life, then by this stage, your interest should be well exceeding what you ever contribute. So if you look here, you can see over 25 years invested at 8%, putting in $200 a month, the interest well outperforms what you contributed. Now by age 60 in the UK, you should have 6 times your annual salary. So if you were on 60k, that would mean £360,000 saved. In the USA, you should have a net worth of 8 times your annual salary. So at $60,000, that would be $480,000 saved and invested. By this point in your life, your house will likely be paid off and most likely will have increased in value. And then any salary you're getting will be in cash, which can go straight into savings and investments. Now at retirement age, which in the UK is currently 68, you should have 7 times your salary. So say you were on 60k still, then you'd have £420,000 saved. In the USA, their retirement age is 67 and you should have a net worth of 10 times your annual salary. So if you were on $60,000 a year, this would be $600,000 saved. Now, these studies are great because it gives you a rough idea of what you should have, but the problem with this study is that it expects you to retire at either 67 or 68, but what if you want to retire early or live a different lifestyle in retirement? For the UK study, Fidelity do basic changes on these figures. So if you want to retire early, for example, if you wanted to retire at 60, then you need 9 times your salary, or if you wanted to retire later at 75, then you'd need 6 times your salary. Depending on how you want to live in your retirement, as you can see here, if you want to spend more in your retirement, then you'll need to have 11 times your salary saved, or if you want to spend less, you will need 4 times your salary saved. One thing to remember here is not to be discouraged if you aren't at your milestone. There are ways to catch up to future milestones through planning and saving. The key is to understand what you are aiming for and to take positive steps, and the earlier you can do this, the better. Fidelity research gives you a good rough idea, but there are other ways to look at this that are a lot more personalized, and this can be done using the 25 times and the 4% rule, because that connects the income you expect to be generating for yourself when you choose to retire one day. So the general rule of thumb for retirement is you need to take your annual spending, then multiply this by 25. Then you need that amount of money invested and returning at least 4% to support you through retirement. This is the 25 times rule. We get the 25 times rule from the 4% rule because if you multiply 4% of something by 25, you will get 100% of the original value. The 4% rule is known as the safe withdrawal rate, which means you've built up a pot of money to a particular age in the future where you then expect to draw down 4% of that pot of money per year, which implies that money may last you for 25 years, which is the typical retirement time. So imagine you were hoping to retire with an income of £2,000 per month, so 24k per year. You then take that 24,000 and then multiply it by 25, which equals 600,000. So you would want a pot of £600,000 in the future, so you can then draw down 4% per year in order to give yourself an income. And the idea is as long as you have that money invested and you're generating a return that exceeds the safe withdrawal rate, then theoretically over time you should have a lot more money available to you in income than you are withdrawing. Now, while none of this video is financial advice, because I am just a guy on YouTube, a key point here is that the sooner you start investing and putting something away for the future, no matter how small it is, then your future self will definitely thank you for it. So that's it for this video. So as we come to the end of the year and you potentially reflect and consider your goals for next year, then maybe now is the time to consider whether you are on track. But just remember, net worth doesn't really matter that much. What really matters and is important in life is living happily and enjoying life. I know so many people who are highly educated and skilled but chose a route of happiness and turned down the high paying jobs and are very happy just living a minimalistic life and traveling and seeing the world. So work out what makes you happy, because in the end, that is what truly matters. Also, if you don't mind disclosing, let us know in the comments below how your net worth compares to your salary along with your age, and whether you are on track using Fidelity's suggestions, or whether you plan to follow the 4% rule instead. I'd love to know whether people are actually reaching these suggestions or Fidelity's suggestions are wildly out. Also, if you got any value from this video, then please smash the like button, as it massively helps support this channel. And if you want to learn more about personal finance or investing, I have numerous videos on this channel, so I recommend you check them out. So please subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss out on any future updates. It's been Ollie from Get Geek Finance. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.